Hi everyone. So today I will show you how to build API using URL Rewrite Mediator. So let's start how to build that one. Right click this API and need to click new here, REST API. So create a new API artifact, click next here. So here like I'm giving you URL Rewrite API. Okay. So here I'm giving one context here. So URL Rewrite and modify this version type to context here. And this version I'm giving one initial version 1.0.0 and click finish. So until it's creating one API XML file, let me go through requirement analysis. So need to understand what is the scenario I want to explain today. So just for example, like this is one sample request. This is one for get request. Okay, this is for get request. So this get request I'm just passing one like this is protocol and this is for host name and this is port and this is my like URL. Okay, this is for endpoint. So what we need to do, we will send one request with this get URL and we will get one response. So within the response we will use one payload mediator. So this payload mediator we will pass two fields, one is for new URL, one for status. So this new URL value we will use one more mediator is there which is provided by WSO2 EI, not EA, WSO2 Enterprise Integrator. So they are development tool like the mediator is the URL Rewrite Mediator. So this Rewrite Mediator will do what? It will transform your URL. So just example, you are sending this request. So this is doing what? It's modifying the protocol. So earlier it was HTTP. So it's modify this one to HTTPS. So this one my like host means my IP address. So it's modify this one to one host. So this is my like one port here. So this one is modified to one new port. And I used one URL here. So this is my endpoint URL call. So I modified that one to change URL. So if you want to modify your query param also, this is one example I also added here. So we will see like how we can modify our URL after sending the request. Means you send one, you trigger one request. When it's reached to URL Rewrite Mediator, it will transform your URL and it will modify that URL to like this way. And from Payload Mediator, we will structure this kind of URL. Means not the URL, like whatever value we are getting from the Rewrite Mediator, that we will modify. Means we will print as a new value, new URL field value. And this is one static response like I pass like proceed. If it is succeed, I pass here proceed only. I added one log mediator. So this log mediator will print whatever data we are getting from the payload mediator. As we know, like the respond mediator will send back the response to the customer. So let's start like how to build an API to complete this journey. So let me quickly go through Integration Studio. So this is our like sample default design view. So if you go through resource and go through show property view. So this is our URL style is none here. Protocol type is HTTP, HTTPS. So as we know, like we are using get method. So we need not modify any method in here. So keep as it is. Let me close this one. So now let me press U. So drag and drop this URL Rewrite Mediator. So let's know like what is the features is providing by URL Rewrite Mediator. Just right click this one and go through show property view. So here there is one URL rewrite rule is there. So we will create multiple rule now and we will show you like how it is working in real time activity. This is for like property here. So in out property we add here in property, out property description. So this video like we will learn how we can create our own rule and how we can modify our own URL. So just click plus here. So here like it is showing property, under property rewrite rule action. So there is one plus icon is here, right? This is for like add a new element. So if you click this one, so it is giving you some rule action here. If you click here, right? So replace, remove, append, prepend and set method, send action. So here the fragment you can see there are multiple type of fragments here. So we'll use one of the like we'll use 4 to 5 fragments to show you like how this mediator actually working. So and the rule value like this is value is there and expression is there, depends on like our query, like we will pass that one. And action value, like what is the value you want to pass for the particular fragment, that we can pass it here. So let me cancel this one. So now what need to do, let me go through requirement analysis. So So our first step, we need to modify our protocol. This is HTTP, right? So we need to modify this protocol to HTTPS. So let me go through Integration Studio. So here like the rule action, right? Select here, set here. So this rule fragment, so by default it's protocol only, keep as it is. So value I am adding here HTTPS. Okay, let me finish this one. So now we did one for protocol. So second one, what we need to do? We need to do for this, modify this IP. Either you want to modify IP to different IP, or else you can use any host also. So just for example, like I'm adding here one more element. So here let me set the action here. So fragment here I modify this one to host. So this host I am giving here Narayan.com or anything, like I'm just for example like just giving this one. So this one, finish this one. This one we set one for protocol, one for like this one for host. Now one I need to do for, so as I like see like this one is port, right? So we need to do one rewrite for the port as well. So let me go through Studio. Here modify this one to set here, and this fragment let me modify to port. So I'm adding a 9438. So you can give any like just for example like just adding here. So finish this one. So that is done for like port. Now like this is our endpoint, right? So this is URL call. So this URL call, let me go to Studio again, add here. So here like let me change this one to set here. So this fragment, right? Let me modify this one to path. So what path I want to modify? So while we are sending any request using URL callback, so this is one endpoint. I want to modify this one to change URL. So let me copy this one. So this value let me add it here and finish this one. So we set for like action here. So let's test this one. So I will show you like this query param. We'll show you like after one test. Let me go through Studio again, finish this one. So let me close this one and save this file. If you go through source view, right? So this source, this under rewrite rule, I added 4 rules, one for protocol, one for host, and one for port, and one for path. So these 4 property, this 4 particular action I modified here. So now like I will show you like a real time demo, like after means using one URL, how actually it is modifying this one. So what we need to do, one more thing I want to show you, it's a design view. So now let me go through Payload Mediator. Let me drag and drop one Payload Mediator. So this Payload Mediator will do what? Whatever response we are getting from WSO2 means this URL Rewrite Mediator, that will transform as a like JSON response like this way, and will print whatever new value I'm transferring from the request. So I got the request like this way. So how I will transfer this one to this one? So how I will do that one? So I will use one more Payload Mediator to print that value, like whatever like modification is done by URL Rewrite Mediator, that I want to print in Payload Mediator. So go through this Studio again, right click this one, go through Show Property View. So here like this media type, right? Modify this one to JSON. So let me go through our requirement analysis. Let me copy this one and go through Studio again. Just don't worry. So I need to pass it as a like dynamic. Let me remove this thing. So here I'm adding $1. Okay. So this dollar value is one. What value is what? So whatever value like I'm getting from the rewrite WSO2 URL Rewrite Mediator, right? So that value only I want to pass in new URL value. So click add one argument here. Change this one to expression. So this expression, keep the argument like expression and evaluate XML only. If you click this one, so this window, right? Let me modify this one again to expression. So here I am adding get hyphen property. Okay. So this property I want to call. There is one more default syntax is there. If you call to, it will fetch the value whatever response you are getting from the Rewrite Mediator or any like a particular request. If you want to pass the whatever full response you want to pass, you can pass it here. So add this one, finish here. So what I need to do, whatever URL like transformation happen from URL Rewrite Mediator, that I want to pass it here. So it will do what? It will transform your URL like this way. So as of now, like we did this much only. Just for example, like your clarification, I did now this much only. So this URL, it will fetch from the URL Rewrite Mediator and will pass that value in Payload Mediator. Okay. So let me go through Studio again. Now our setup is done for Payload Mediator. Now I need to add one Log Mediator. So this Log Mediator, right click this one, show property view. So here, like, let me modify this log label to full here. So whatever response I am getting from the Payload Mediator, that I want to pass it here. So now let me add one Respond Mediator. So this one, like, to stop the flow, and whatever response I am getting from the Payload Mediator, that simply I pass it as a response. So now, like, let's build one car file to verify our source code is working or not. So right click this exporter, go through this export application project. So here I modify this one to URL Rewrite. Okay, let me type a URL Rewrite API. So click next here. So here this demo config, right? Expand this one. So here, like, let me select this URL Rewrite API and finish. So you can see, like, it is showing what carbon archive file successfully created in the given destination. So let's deploy this car file to verify the flow whatever we did for this URL Rewrite Mediator, right? Let's see it's working or not. So now let me go through Carbon UI, refresh this one. So make sure, like, your session is active. So let me scroll down this Carbon application, right? Click add here. So here, like, let's upload that particular car file which you want to test. So choose file here. So here, like, this is my car file, and the timing and my system time also you can see here. URL Rewrite API, let me upload this one and upload. So usually, like, EI will take some second to validate your code is correct or not. If it is correct only, you can able to see your car file in here. So now it is 31 is running, right? So let me refresh this one. So you could see here now it is 32. So let me scroll down. This is my new API, okay, URL Rewrite API. Let's click here APIs option. So here it is not there. Click next here. Okay, click next. It's starting from U, right? Maybe it's the last only. Okay, so this is our API, URL Rewrite API, and this is our URL. This URL we need to use for testing purpose. So now I will show you use this URL how we will what are the response and we are getting from this URL Rewrite Mediator. Let me copy this one. Go through Postman. So make sure, like, there is no space like before this HTTP. So now you can see my current URL, right? If I send request, it is showing what 202 accepted. Okay. Now let's go through the log and see what is the error. So it is showing what error while constructing the URI from this one. Okay. So yeah, as per the log you can see https narayan.com is fine, and this is my port. Okay. So after port there is one slash is required, so which I missed. So better instead of creating new car file for testing purpose, go through Carbon portal. So here, like, edit here. Those who are newly watching my video, kindly go through my channel. So I already regularly uploading WSO2 related videos, so which will help you, like, to understand what is WSO2 and what all features is providing by WSO2 and how to use in your real time activity. So this portal actually basically for quickly do testing in EI. So click yes here. Go through switch to source view. So here, like, if you see, right, this value, let me add one slash here, scroll down and save this one. So let me go through log and hit enter. So it will quickly load your updated one in UI. So you can see, right, successfully updated the API. Click OK. So now let me go through Postman. If I send request now, right, so you can see my new URL. So earlier it was HTTP. So new URL is HTTPS, and the previous IP is this one. If you see this IP, right, now it's changed to narayan.com, and this port is 8280. So this one changed to 9438, and the path also it's modified this URL to change URL. And the status, as I mentioned, like, I added one static value. So hope, like, you guys are understand how to use this one in your real time activity. So now let's go through our one more thing. As I mentioned, like, after testing I'll show you, right. So we need to add one query param to verify, like, actually is it working or not. So let's go through Studio again. Click OK. So let me right click this one, go through show property view. So here let me click this one. So now you can see, right, there is 4 like action I set here. So I need to add one more for query. So modify this action to set here, and the fragment, right, so I'm adding here query here, and the value I'm adding like let me go through analysis just for use for reference. Don't use this question mark, it will come by default. So go through this studio again, add this value and finish it. Here also finish this one. So let me close this property and save this file. Go through source view, right. So now you can see one more like action has been added here. So let me copy this. Okay, so I need to add here one more slash, right. So I'm adding here slash. Let me copy this full code, go through UI again. So click last here. So this URL rewrite API, right. So click edit here, click yes. So here like switch to source view, click this one. So let me replace. So now you can see one more, as I mentioned, I added only query here, and I added one value like sequence equal to 50 just for your reference. So let me save this one. It is showing what successfully updated the API. Click OK. Now let me go through Postman. If I send request now, right, so you could see here it is appending one sequence 50 like as per our URL. So hope like so this value like we can use in our real-time activity to pass this URL. There are multiple way we can use, and we can send our request. This is for like customer perspective, they know only this URL, but actually what is happening behind, we will develop our source code like this way. So this is one example like how we can like create a URL Rewrite Mediator API, and you can use in your real-time activity. So those who are watching my video, kindly go through my channel So Beyond Doubt, and kindly like, share and subscribe my channel, so it will motivate me to make more videos. Thank you so much.